Hello, today we're going to learn about being a good listener. And after I go over these, we're going to practice when I read a book and listen and see if you can use all of these tools. All right, so a good listener takes a listening position. So that means I'm going to be in a place that's not super distracting. I'm not going to sit where the TV's over there. I'm going to sit where I can look at my person. I'm not going to be sitting on something that makes me fall over, or I'm not going to, kind of sit by my dog if I know that I love to hang out by my dog and it's going to come and lick me and I'm going to get distracted. So I know I need to maybe go to a quiet place and I need to sit on a chair if that's easy for me, or I need to sit on the ground and sit crisscross applesauce. You have to figure out what is your best way of sitting so that you can listen well. The second thing that a good listener does is they look at the person who's talking. So if I'm talking, you should be looking at the video. But let's say we're in a class meeting and someone in your class is talking. You're going to try to find them in the screen and look at that person. That means you're being attentive and you're looking. And when you're looking, then your ears somehow magically go with your eyes. So looking at the person is really important. You're also going to raise, it says raise his or her hand to speak. That means if I'm talking, if you have something to say, you don't blurt out over the person. You raise your hand and you wait till someone calls on you, and then you can share what you wanted to say. That's the most polite thing to do. You're also, let's see, a good listener is ready to ask and answer questions. So that means you're thinking about what I'm saying. So we will be doing that when we read the book. You're going to be thinking about a question you can ask. I'll even be modeling questions that you might be thinking. Whenever I'm thinking and asking myself questions in my head, I'm actively listening. So thinking of questions is important because it means my mind is active and I'm really listening to what the person is saying. Also, they can repeat what someone else said. So if you're listening, you should be able to say what I just said because you're listening. You're watching, you're listening, you're asking questions, you're thinking. All of that should help you repeat what someone says. A good listener also does not interrupt. We kind of talked about that from when you raise your hand. If you interrupt, you can't listen to somebody because you're talking the same time that they're talking. So please don't interrupt. Remember, you can use a quiet hand. And then find new information. So that means if you're listening to a book and let's say you didn't know that owls had feathers, you'd say to yourself, wow, owls have feathers. I just learned something new today. And then you keep thinking about that so that maybe you can raise your hand and say, I just learned that owls have feathers. So we're going to practice that today, and I'm going to read you this book. And this book is called Family Stories. And it says, think of an important time in your life, like your first day of school. I want you to kind of be thinking about your first day of school. Do you and your family talk about that time? That's a good question. This actually asks a question. Think about that. All right. Every family has stories that it shares. See what family stories the children in this book have to share. So I'm already thinking in my head, I wonder what stories they're going to share. It says here, Hector, age 9. I was born at a hospital in New York City. Mom and Dad liked to tell me you weren't supposed to be born for 3 more days. They had to go to the hospital during rush hour. They couldn't find a taxi, so they had to take a bus. And then here's pictures. This is my mom, dad, and me at the hospital. This is the first photograph my parents took of me. So now I'm wondering, how long did it take their parents to get to the hospital? I bet they were really worried. I wonder if they were worried. So those are questions I'm thinking about. I might not know what rush hour is. Maybe I'm thinking, what is rush hour? So I would raise my hand and say, Mrs. I don't know what rush hour is. And I would say rush hour is when there's lots of traffic on the road and you can't get places quickly. So that's good to be thinking, I don't know what that is. I'm being a good listener. I'm not sure what that means. I better ask. So it's very important to be thinking, listening, looking at the pictures and thinking. Nice job. Let's do another person. Cammie, age 8. When I was 2, Mama noticed that I didn't see very well. She took me to a special eye doctor, and he said I was almost blind in my right eye. I had to get glasses. I didn't like wearing them at first, but Mama helped me understand that they would help me. Now I like my glasses. Now I can see fine with both my eyes. I was thinking in my head, I wonder what it looked like when she was little and didn't have the glasses. If you're blind in one eye almost, it would be really hard to see. So do you only see half? I would think about maybe trying to cover up one eye to see how that would look. Those are questions, but now I know that she sees okay because it says right here, now I can see fine with both my eyes. So those are good questions to always be thinking about what she said. Anna, age 6. I have a twin sister, Julia. When we started school, our mom thought it would be best for us to be in different classes. That way we could each make our own friends. My class photo. This is her class photo. Here they are. Can you find her? She's right there. It was hard to be apart. We missed each other so much. We hugged goodbye every morning at school. So then you go back and go, why did her mom think it was a good idea? And it tells us in the text, she thought it would be good for them to make their own friends. And then you go, I wonder if that was really true. I bet it was. They look really happy. Sammy, age 11. When I was 2, my parents decided to adopt a baby. I stayed with Grandpa and Grandma while Mom and Dad went to meet my new baby sister. My new baby sister right here. That's what the caption says. Grandma says I wasn't happy because I didn't want to share my parents. Well, I don't mind now. I like being a big brother, my little sister and me. So he does look really happy. And you might think, what does adopted mean? Maybe I don't know. So you would raise your hand and I would say, oh, that means when you get a baby sister or baby brother or someone who doesn't have parents or someone who can't take care of them and your family takes them in and they become part of your family. So always be thinking about questions. Eugene, age 8. Did you ever move to a new town? I did. I was 6. I had no choice. Dad came home and said, if we don't move, I won't have a job. And here it is. This is me and Josh and Ben at my old house. And I'm thinking, gee, was he happy about that? Did he want to move? Was he sad? What's going to happen? So remember, I'm thinking all the time about what's going on. I was in 1st grade. I had to leave my good friends Josh and Ben. It wasn't easy. That answers my question. It wasn't easy for him. Now I'm in 3rd grade and I have new friends, but sometimes I still feel a little sad. These are my new friends, and then these are his new friends. So it's good to always be thinking, new bit of information I found out, he has new friends. And I found that because I was listening. Melinda, age 9. We have a big family. I met them all at a family reunion last year. You may be thinking, what's a reunion? So you would wait, raise your hand, and then I would tell you a reunion is like a gathering, kind of a party where people come together and see each other again. We flew all the way to Dallas, Texas. I met about 100 aunts, uncles, and cousins. I even met great aunts and great uncles. Everyone had stories about the family. One of my aunts is writing the stories down so we can remember them. Ooh, very interesting. I like that. I wonder how many stories she got. So I'm always wondering, even if I can't find the answer, I'm always wondering and thinking, because when you do that, it keeps your mind actively thinking and involved in what's going on so that you can remember what is being read. And here's an index if I want to find out about being born or the family reunion. I can go back to these pages. All right. Very good. So remember, a good listener takes a listening position. So if that means sitting for you or cross-legged or sitting in a chair, sitting wherever, you have to figure out for your head what's the best way for you to sit to be a good listener. You have to look at the person talking. That means your eyes, you're facing the person who's talking. You need to raise your hand to speak so that you're not interrupting, because here it says do not interrupt. You're ready to ask or answer questions. So if I said, what was this book about? I'm hoping you could say it's about different kids talking about their family stories. And you should be able to repeat what someone else said. So that's kind of the same as asking a question, and you are able to find out new information. I hope this helps you be a better listener because we'll be reading a lot and you'll have to be listening to those stories. So enjoy listening to all the stories that we have and be a good listener. All right, bye.